Welcome to the start of this very chaotic video. Today I'm making a liverwort cake for my friend James, who you might have seen on Horticulturally Challenged, and I'm going to be telling you guys some really random facts about this very prehistoric plant called liverwort. So stick to the end to see how much of a disaster this actually is. So I've decided, for no reason other than it's an inside joke, that we are going to be making a liverwort themed cake, as there is no shortage of supply of liverwort at the nursery. If you don't know, liverwort is a weed. As liverworts live really close to the ground, I'm going to be making a chocolate sponge that mimics dirt. And I know what you're already thinking, what the hell is a liverwort? Well, liverworts are small, non-vascular plants that are related to mosses and hawthorns and belong to the division Marchantiophyta. They're usually found in damp or shady environments and can often be seen growing on soil, rocks and tree trunks. It is one of the oldest living plants on Earth, with fossil evidence dating back to the Silurian period, over 400 million years ago. There are over 9,000 known species of liverwort, which are classified into two main groups: leafy liverworts and thallose liverworts. Leafy liverworts are the most common and resemble miniature ferns with ribbon-like leaves that are arranged in a spiral pattern. Thallose liverworts have a flat, thallus-like body and may or may not have leaves. Today I'll be making a thallose-shaped liverwort, as they're the most common ones on the nursery, and I thought they were going to be the easiest ones to make, but I was proved wrong. I also want to say quickly before we get into it, I apologise now for my pronunciation. I have googled the words and looked them up, but there are different there's different ways of saying things, and I got really confused, so I'm just saying it how I think they're pronounced, but it could still be wrong. Anyway, let's get on learning about these liverworts. Some liverworts are epiphytes, meaning that they grow on other plants, while others are terrestrial and grow only on the ground. As they are a non-vascular plant, they do not have a system for tubes or vessels for transporting water and nutrients throughout the plants. Here's a tip: if you're lazy like me and can't be bothered to fetch a knife, just shake around the tray and it'll flatten it pretty much and get out a lot of air bubbles. If you are also wanting to recreate this cake disaster, I will leave a recipe in the description box below. Most liverworts reproduce sexually, but some species are capable of reproducing asexually through production of gamete, which are small reproductive cells that can grow into new plants. They reproduce by means of spores, which are produced on special structures called sporangia. A few species of liverworts are also used in traditional medicine and as sources of food for humans. Liverwort, specifically the Hepactica subspecies, is a type of herb that has been used in traditional medicine for centuries. It has been used for a variety of ailments, including liver and gallbladder issues, respiratory conditions, skin problems, and in traditional Chinese medicine, liverwort is believed to have liver protective and immune strengthening properties. It is also used as a diuretic and to reduce inflammation. As a medicine, liverwort is most commonly used in the form of a tea or tincture. It is important to note that the safety and effectiveness of liverwort as a medicinal herb has not been thoroughly researched, and more scientific study is needed to confirm its potential health benefits. As with any herbal remedy, it is important to consult a healthcare professional before using liverwort or any other herbal treatment. But in recent decades, more research has been conducted relating to its use as a legal high. Science Daily writes that as early as 1994, Japanese phytochemist Yoshinori Asakawa had discovered a substance in the liverwort plant, Radula peritetei, which is related to THC, and had named this natural substance peritetine. Using animal models, they were able to demonstrate that peritetine reaches the brain very easily, and that, once there, it specifically activates cannabinoid receptors. It even demonstrates a stronger anti-inflammatory effect in the brain than THC, something which makes peritetine particularly interesting when you consider its potential medical application. It's astonishing that only two species of plants separated by 300 million years of evolution produce psychoactive cannabinoids, says Stuart. So now you know, if your cannabis business isn't lucrative enough, why not try liverwort? You know what, this is where I realised I grossly messed up. I should have actually cut the shape with it all intact and then halved it so I wouldn't have to recut the shape. Also, this part was the most difficult, trying to get the icing to actually stick to the really crumbly middle pieces. I'm not an expert, okay? I do what I do. The best part, it tasted good. That's all we need. Sorry, this is not going to be an aesthetic, satisfying cake making video, but we move, we get there eventually. And really, this does recreate dirt very well. I mean, it looks like mud. Fun fact, liverworts are actually really good at reducing soil erosion because of all their hairy rhizoids. They are hairy. They really mat the soil beneath them and they stop soil slipping out when it rains. Because of their large, sprawling surface area, they also help to keep moisture within the soil, which is great, especially if you've got an area of the garden or somewhere in a pot that dries out really quickly. And I can hear you now, but Meg, where can I get these wonderful plants for my garden that always keeps drying out? The answer is, I have no idea. And if you don't change other environmental factors, they would just probably die. They're pretty fussy. This method of baking, I am calling the Megan Mud method. As you can tell, it's a very artful technique. This does recreate dirt very well. I mean, it looks like mud that has been left out to dry in the sun, so... Liverworts have simple branching stems and small green leaf-like structures called lobes or thalli, which is what I'm trying to recreate with this failed attempt at icing. I am soon realising that this is going to be a 3D, two-dimensional cake, as there's no way I can recreate archigonal structures. Despite their small size and simple structure, liverworts play an important role in their ecosystems. They help to stabilise soil, prevent erosion and provide habitats for small animals. And there you have it. You've now become a semi-professional expert on liverwort. Do with this information what you will, although if you are planning on to grow a liverwort farm for your own personal uses, I'm sorry to inform you that they are actually quite difficult to get established and they're a bit fussy when it comes to sticking around. But if you do happen to create the perfect conditions for liverwort to thrive, you will not get rid of it and you're happy to do with it as you please. Here I am adding the last finishing touches to the liverwort cake. I have absolutely no clue what those brown splodges are representing. No idea, maybe bird poo. I can't remember what was going through my mind. Maybe a Shrek horror story or something? I don't know. At this point, I had no freaking clue how to save this cake, so I just quickly pressed on some numbers and said, ta-da, that's it, it's over now. It looks shocking. It looks like Shrek has thrown up on the screen. I honestly thought people were going to pass up on eating this one, but actually it all went very quickly and everyone seemed to love it. After a lot of practice, here are a few cakes that I have done for other people at work, including Max, who's also on the podcast. That was his tractor cake. And we've got Evie surrounded by plants and flowers. So hopefully I can recreate a liverwort cake next year. If you have any suggestions on how I could improve, please let me know in the comments down below. Thank you very much for watching and I'll see you whenever.